What's going on, people? Welcome to Veve Investments. I appreciate you tuning in. Got a bit of a unique video in store for you guys today. So we're going to be playing the higher lower game using Veve collectibles. Now, for those who are not familiar with this game, the original version tosses two topics on screen, and based on the amount of Google searches they receive on a monthly basis, one is going to show the amount of searches it gets and the other one does not show the amount. So your job is to determine whether the topic that is not showing the amount of searches is higher or lower than the topic that is. So for today's version, what we're going to do is we're going to run through a list of Veve collectibles, all of which have physical counterparts. So your job is to determine whether the price of the physical counterpart is higher or lower than the price of the digital one offered on Veve. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below what you want to see in future episodes. Without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So first up, we got Killer Croc. So on the left-hand side, guys, going to be the virtual version that's offered over on Veve. On the right-hand side, it's going to be the physical. What are you guys thinking? Right now, it's 60 gems on the Veve app. I'm going to convert everything into US dollars. That way, it's consistent with the price of the physicals. But do you guys think it's higher or lower than 60 US dollars? Can you pick up the physical for more, or can you pick it up for less? Cue the Jeopardy music. Actually, maybe not because of copyright. And it's gonna be higher, so it comes in at 153. Now guys, I based the physical prices off of the cheapest I could find. Now there are some collectibles that I did find cheaper than what I listed in the video for some of the collectibles on this list, and the reason why is because, you know, take a collectible like Harley Quinn, for example. The price of the physical that was listed on eBay or the Google shopping tab or Amazon was much higher on average than a particular one I came across. It was listed for $30, and to me that was just a red flag. So I didn't include pieces like that because it wasn't consistent with the rest of the research that I'd done. So in this case, the 153 is the cheapest one for sale that I came across, and there are multiple different editions and much more variables involved with physicals, right? So keep that in mind too, guys. These might be opened, they might have marks on them, the lighting might have discolored them. It might be a first edition, second edition, and so on and so forth. So there's much more to consider here, which is why prices for the physicals are all over the place in the market. But I tried to base this again off of the cheapest one that I could find. Next up, we got Harley Quinn, the Bruce Timm, part of the Black and White series. Right now, she's sitting at 100 US gems on average during the time of filming this video. And what are you guys thinking? Do you guys think that the price of the physical is higher or lower? And for this specific piece, I tried basing it off of the first edition. So there are multiple editions of the Black and White Harley Quinn. Second edition is the most common one you'll come across, and those are listed for a couple $100 cheaper. But we got the first appearance on Veve, we got the first edition in real life, so that's what I tried basing it off of. And the physical version is going to be higher, coming in at $266 versus the $100 for the digital. Next up, we got the one and only Todd Batman, first ever NFT on the Veve platform. Right now, he's sitting around 1,000 USD. What are you guys thinking? You think the physical is higher or lower than that? I have a feeling a lot of people will probably know this one. There's a lot of people in the Veve community that have gone and bought the physicals, I've noticed. And actually, speaking of multiple editions, this would be another example that has that. There's a blue version as well. But the physical edition is going to come in lower at 140. This is a first edition of the piece, but this is another example of a piece where you can go online and you're going to see price points all over the place. 140 USD is the cheapest one that I came across for sale. And again, guys, that's going to be for first edition. Now, keeping it consistent with the Batman series, we're going to have the Joker here. So right now, he's sitting at 145 USD over on the Veve app. What are you guys thinking? Higher or lower for the physical? And when we're talking about first edition here, the physical is going to come in much higher. So as of the time of filming this video, cheapest one I could find for sale was 401 USD. Again, multiple editions for sale. Second edition is going to come in much cheaper. But right now, you can pick up the virtual version for 145 USD over on Veve, or a lucky one of you watching this video can run to go and grab the one for sale at 401. Next up, we got Batman number 89. Now, my God, this one dropped a lot. This was at like 700 or 800 bucks at one point, but all the way down to 23 USD right now over on Veve. What are you guys thinking? Higher or lower for the physical? Drum roll. And wow, I failed that. I'm trying to look at my paper while doing this. And the physical is going to be higher at $80 US. Now, guys, little disclaimer for this one. I did base this off of the second edition. I could not find a first edition online. That might just be my poor research skills. But this is a second edition, or at least that's what it said. I'll toss the prices that I found online up on screen so you guys know what I mean. Next up, we got our first serial killer in the episode. Gonna be 2-Ton Sam. So you can pick him up for 18 USD on the Veve app right now. What are you guys thinking? Higher or lower for the physical? And this one actually surprised me when I was doing the research, but this one comes in much higher at 73 USD. That's the cheapest one I found online, but there was also many listed for around 100, 150, so. Next up, we got the one and only Superman. Now this piece, I've done, a couple videos on this one. It seems very, very scarce. I could only find 2 available online for sale, so yeah, what are you guys thinking? Higher or lower for the physical? And believe it or not, it comes in lower. So 350 USD is the cheapest one that I found, and I think the second one that I found for sale was not much higher, so. Next up, we got Catwoman, part of the DC CoverGirls series. Right now, you can pick her up for 29 USD over on the Veve app. What are you guys thinking? Higher or lower? And the physical is going to come in much, much higher at 126 USD for the cheapest one for sale. Next up, we got another serial killer. We're going to do Cap and Cornstarch. And right now, you can pick them up for 30 USD over on the Veve app. Do you guys think the physicals are more expensive or less expensive? And he's going to be higher for the physical. In this case, a little over double. Pick him up for $67.5, $68. And this is the second serial killer that has surprised me. The physicals are definitely more expensive than I thought, so definitely something I learned there. Next up, we got another battle statue, this time the Superman and the Flash. Right now, you can pick them up for 40 USD over on the Veve app, which is kind of crazy because this is first appearance of the Flash. And yeah, what do you guys think? Higher or lower for the physical? And the physical is going to be higher, much, much higher, 239 USD. Now, this is another one I'm actually basing off of the second edition. I couldn't find a first edition online because this is a newer piece. It was released a couple years ago. But regardless, if the second edition is more expensive than the one on Veve, first edition, if there is one, is definitely more than the second edition, so still higher. Now, staying with DC, we're going to move over to Artist Alley, so Wonder Woman. Now, I actually learned while making this video that there is a black and white, I guess, series or editions for all of the Artist Alley pieces in this series. The Wonder Woman, the Batgirl, the Supergirl, and then the Hawkgirl, all of them come in a black and white version as well. So similar to that of the black and white series for Batman. Now, right now, she's dropped all the way down to 74 USD on Veve. What are you guys thinking? Do you think you could pick up the physical for higher or lower? And this one was actually close, but the physical is going to come in lower at 69 USD. They're pretty much at the same price point. Obviously, these are fluctuating all the time. But what would you rather have in this case for the same money? Would you rather have the first appearance of her over on the blockchain, or would you rather have the physical collectible over on the right? Next, we're going to head back to the future. Get it? God, I'm lame. Marty's Hoverboard, 41 USD for the digital version. Over on the right-hand side, you think higher or lower than that? Now, this is another piece that was listed all over the place in the market. Cheapest one I found that was legitimate was 60 USD, but there are so many of these things listed in the hundreds, and I saw thousands of dollars for some of them too. So maybe I'm missing something here. I didn't see any like first edition, second edition listings, but I'll toss the pricing on screen. That way you guys can see what I saw. Heading back to the Artist Alley, we're going to do Batgirl here. Now that I think about it, this one's probably pretty obvious, but the digital version is available for 9 USD. Do you guys think that the physical is more expensive or less expensive than that? The physical is going to be higher, coming in at 53 USD for the cheapest one on sale. I'm sure that was probably pretty obvious to most. Next, we're going to do another serial killer. So we got Fat Tony this time, 24 USD over on Veve. You guys think higher or lower? Well, the physical is going to come in higher at 73 USD for the cheapest. However, there were many of these listed for well over 100. Next up, we got Batman number 97. Now, this is going to be a piece that sits alongside Todd in the same series. Was the first series ever released on the app. And right now, he's sitting at 125 USD on Veve. You guys think you can pick up the physical for higher or lower? And the physical comes in much lower at 45 USD, so fraction of the cost on Veve. And I know the price on Veve was much higher than what it's sitting at right now, so you guys do the math there, but yeah, much lower. We're going to do Supergirl this time, and I actually learned making this video that the physical statue has, I think that's a cat, or a really weird looking dog, so I have no idea, but I'm thinking that's a cat. This whole series has dropped quite a bit over on Veve. Right now you can pick her up for 14 USD. You guys think the physical is higher or lower than that? If you guys want to save some money, I'll go with the one over on the left-hand side here. You can pick up the physical for 47 USD. But hey, maybe that's the extra cost associated with the cat, so your call. We're going to head back to Ron English Serial Killers. We're going to do this Sugar Diabetes Bear. Right now, pick them up for 26 USD over on the Veve app if interested. And if you choose to, just keep in mind, you're going to get an added bowl of cereal with them, okay? Because the physical doesn't come with that. Now, despite not having that bowl of cereal, he is still going to be more for the physical. 70 USD is the cheapest one I found for sale online. But again, many of these serial killers, guys, are listed between like 100 and 150. So that caught me by surprise. Another throwback to an older piece on the app. Shout out to the OG investors who are holding one of these. The Harley Quinn number 19 is currently sitting at 2,190 USD over on Veve. You guys think that the physical is more expensive than that or less expensive? And I think this one might have been another obvious one to some, but much, much lower for the physical, coming in at only 69 USD, a fraction of what the price is over on Veve. Now we're going to finish that Artist Alley series off with Hawkgirl. Right now you can pick her up for 30 USD. She's the ultra rare in the series, so she's dropped quite a bit as well. But what are you guys thinking? Higher or lower for the physical? This is going to be another close one. She comes in at 33 USD, so higher for the physical, but pretty much the same price. Going to be the same as Wonder Woman, part of the same series. So what are you guys thinking? Would you prefer the digital version or the physical? Comment down below. And last but not least, guys, we're going to round it off with a newer piece that's dropped on the app, and that's going to be Chucky in a box. So right now he's sitting at 8 USD or 8 gems on Veve. What are you guys thinking? Can you pick up the physical for more or less than that? And the physical version is going to be higher, coming in at 47 USD for the cheapest one I found. However, to my surprise, there are many of these dolls listed again for well over $100. So that's going to conclude episode 25 of Veve Investments, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you managed to make it to the end and enjoy the content, I really appreciate it if you drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you guys want to see in future episodes. And as for episode 26, I'll catch you then.